So I want to talk to you about the power and control wheel. It is a wheel that was developed in Duluth, Minnesota in the early 1980s, and it was advocates talking to women who were battered, many conversations about what it's like to live with a man who beats them into submission. What are all the ways in which he gets this done? And when you look at the wheel, on the outside, you see this physical and sexual violence. And then on the inside, you see these 8 different tactics and ways in which they achieve this dominance over their partners. A lot of those tactics inside that wheel are things that might happen in other relationships that aren't battering, like emotional abuse. What changes in these relationships is when physical violence or the threat of it has been used in the relationship, it changes how those tactics play out. So for example, if a man comes home in a nonviolent relationship and announces to his wife that he's not going to do any domestic chores anymore, that would probably cause some sort of a sit-down conversation between the two of them. However, in a relationship where there's battering, if he comes home and announces that he's not going to do any domestic chores from this point forward, then she's got a lot to think about and how she wants to respond to that, because he's proven that he will use physical violence to get her to submit. And so the way in which those tactics play out changes when there's physical and sexual violence in the relationship. And then if you see that power and control in the middle, that's what he ends up with when he uses the violence and all these different tactics to dominate her. He ends up with power and control. Now, most men won't say, I want power and control over her. That wouldn't be their language. What they often end up saying is that I want her to shut the hell up. I want her to stay home. I want her to get the kids in bed. I want her to discipline the kids in the correct way. That's what he's trying to get. He has this way of trying to get her to constantly do or execute the world as he sees it. And the tactics are how he achieves that.